What's going on, everybody? My name is MT and welcome back to DaFAQs, a show where I just answer frequently asked questions that people have on the internet, even though nobody asked me to. And with 20th Century Fox's new Deadpool movie coming out really soon starring Ryan Reynolds, everybody is becoming a lot more interested in what this comic book character is all about. And they have good reason to, because Deadpool is one of Marvel's greatest and most colorfully written characters that they've ever made. He's funny, he's crass, he's violent, and he knows that he's not real and that he's in a comic book. So he kind of just doesn't take anything seriously, which I love and can personally relate to. Student loans? Those aren't real. But there's one question that a lot of people tend to ask about the character, which is, how did Deadpool become Deadpool? Well, I'm going to answer that to the best of my ability. And I say to the best of my ability because we are diving into Deadpool's past. And a lot of the times, the story is told by Deadpool, who is a liar. He's lied about his past multiple times before, and the worst part about all of this is, he knows he's in a comic book, so he's probably gonna do it again in the future, or maybe even now. So take everything I say in regards to these facts established in the comic books with 2 Shaquille O'Neal handfuls of salt. Contrary to popular belief, Deadpool wasn't always Deadpool, and he actually grew up in a small town in Ohio as Wade Wilson. And as far as we know, his family life was super not great. In regards to his mother, it's been said that she beat him up a lot when he was a teenager, but it's also been said that she died when he was 5 years old, so that situation is kind of, who knows. And his father, who was ex-military, was also very abusive to him as well, and would eventually get shot and killed by Wade Wilson's good friend as Wade Wilson's dad tries to pull Wade out of a bar. Which sucks, but, you know, if he was abusive, then good? And so, after all that, Wade Wilson decides, hey, I'm gonna go join the military. And he does, and he becomes super good at kicking butt and taking names, but not so good at following orders, which leads him to eventually being dishonorably discharged. And then so Wade Wilson was like, F the police, man, I don't need this. I'll become a mercenary for hire and only accept assassination contracts for people that I think are deserving of death. We all know that attitude didn't last very long. So yeah, he became a mercenary and did his mercenary thing, but he made this habit of every time he failed an assassination contract, he would get plastic surgery on his face for some reason, which heavily contributed to his fragmented memory problems and his progression into insanity. And so he does this for a while, and then eventually Wade Wilson gets diagnosed with cancer. And it sucks, and he gets all sad until one day a representative from a super secret branch of the government approaches Wade and he says, hey Wade, I heard you got cancer. Do you wanna not have cancer? And then Wade was all like, yeah, a lack of cancer in my life would be beneficial. And so Wade joins a super secret government guy's program called the Weapon X program, where they are trying to recreate the conditions that created the superpowers for one of the greatest Marvel superheroes of all time. That's right, I'm talking about Squirrel Girl. Just kidding, Wolverine. Well, his healing factor anyway. So they put him in this machine to try to give him Wolverine's abilities, but then things go wrong and the cancer in his body goes into super hyperdrive and leaves his body scarred completely from head to toe. And so now he looks really gross and unattractive. And in addition to this, the cancer cells in his body start going haywire and messing with his brain, which contributes even more to his already growing insanity, making him even more mentally unstable. And so after this experiment, the super secret government people were like, well, he's scarred, it was a failed experiment, let's just shove him into a hospice in this super secret facility with all the other failed experiments. That'll be good. So yeah, they bring Wade to this facility run by a bunch of crappy people, and it's filled with patients that also failed the Weapon X experiment or any other experiment that they were trying to do. And these patients had something called the Deadpool, where they would bet how long each patient would live and which patient the facility was going to kill next. Anyways, at this facility, Wade befriends another patient named Worm, but he also pisses off one of the higher ups of the facility, who, in retaliation, decides to lobotomize Wade's friend Worm just to get back at Wade. Wade, who doesn't want to see his friend suffer after being lobotomized, decides to kill him out of love, which is against the rules. And then the people were like, Wade, he broke the rules. It's time for him to die. And so they take Wade, they strap him down, and then they take out his heart, and they're like, all right, done deal. Wade's dead. Time to go to lunch. Who wants Dunkin' Donuts? However, the violence and hatred that Wade has in his body for these terrible people for lobotomizing his friend is so strong that it kickstarts his healing factor, and he comes back to life, and he's like, all right, where are these people that hurt my friend? And then he kills the person responsible, and then he's like, hey guys in this prison, you want to leave? And they're like, yeah, leaving would be nice. And so he breaks them out, and then he's like, I'm gonna call myself Deadpool after the Deadpool thing that my patients had in the facility that I just broke them out. And that's how he became Deadpool. The end. Tell the story to your kids. So yeah, that is how Wade Wilson became Mr. Deadpool, one of the coolest superheroes or anti-heroes of all time. He's not really a superhero. Hopefully that was informative. And again, take all this with a huge grain of salt, because Deadpool is a liar, and eventually, maybe, he'll change his origin story again. But as of now, and as far as my knowledge goes, this is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, feel free to leave a thumbs up, or if you really liked it, subscribe, because more stuff like this is on the way. Anyways, my name is MT, and those were the facts, and if you didn't know, now you know. Catch you guys later.